Good morning, professional photographers of Idaho and beyond. I am Bob Ryder.
I'm Larry Fry. Good morning.
Larry Fry. It's Friday again.
It's Friday.
You know what? For the longest time, I was getting to Fridays and I was like, whew, it's Friday.
Yeah.
And here we are, and it's Friday, and I'm really glad it's Friday.
Yeah. But looking forward to Friday at the same time.
You walked in this morning and had a different reaction to the set than you usually do.
You ought to see this place. This is, so Bob's got a I'm not going to divulge any secrets here, but Bob's got a 3-car garage and he's opened it all up to his studio. We were in the video shooting bay, and I'm here to say that this is very reminiscent of his studio when he had it downtown, except for it's at home, and it's brilliant.
Which means that I can wear myself out in here and go in and
lay down
if I need to, right?
Yeah.
Or I can get fed or whatever the thing that needs to happen here. Oh my gosh, Laquita's here this morning. Let me get the social thing going.
Hey, Laquita, I haven't got your answer to your email yet, but I will get it answered. I saw it the other day and was kind of formulating an answer in my brain, and but it's coming. It's about prepaying membership, by the way.
So, yeah, there it is. Laquita says, good morning and happy Friday.
Hey, good morning, Kim.
Kim Mentor's here. She says, good morning. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some extra folks today because I've been talking to folks behind the scenes. We're going to get to an announcement or two here in a little bit.
We got a lot of stuff today.
I think our episode,
live.
We've got a coming to you straight from whatever we're doing. Man, I love the social feature. I need to get the second computer thing going anyway. One of the things that the changes here in the studio, Laquita's been here. She took our workshop. We did the workshop here a week ago, last Monday actually.
Was it open up, I guess?
It was this, and it was great.
Nice.
And then the following day, we photographed 8 huge police officers in here. And it was great because we had this table over there, and that's going to be a conference area. And when this is all said and done, so that we could do some networking events here in the studio after our new door is put in next week. But she was here, so she's been able to see the new place. But just the idea that I don't have to tear all of this apart.
Yeah, so it's awesome.
Means that I can continue to refine what we're doing. So I'm super excited about that.
From a customer's perspective, when you walk in here now, it's a studio. The garage thing goes away.
Yeah, there's no bicycles.
There's no bicycles or tool cases or whatever. So hats off, man. I know that was a lot of work, and it looks good. So.
I have to give credit where credit is due. Craig Foley was here, and
your lovely wife and your son. Kick some butt.
Yeah, they did it all together, right? I don't know if this played there. There was no active message song, so show that. Laquita says, thanks, Larry. She's Studio Q Photography now, Studio Q Pets.
Whoa.
And she's been working hard on her own garage studio. I am so excited. They were painting. I've been over there. There's like curtains, and I say curtains, that doesn't really do it well. It's like drapery going up, like very cool stuff. Anyway, so many great things coming to today that we're not going to spend a lot of time right here chatting. I'm going to jump over to the rundown here, and we've already done the lead, and let's come into some of our announcements. I think if I just click through this is going to run just like it is, so let's do that. All right, this is a big deal. This is a week away, so our first Friday lunch social is coming up next Friday, June 3rd. And we are both going to be here in Meridian at the Idaho Pizza Company on Fairview. And also, I've talked to Berna and Tish, and they are going to be at Cedric's in Idaho Falls at noon. Great stuff, guys.
That's awesome for the Idaho Falls area. So
it really is. The Hammonds are out of town, and they said you should ask a few other folks. We said, well, who else do you normally see? And they came up with a handful of names. I texted those folks this morning, and they stepped right up. So I'm just going to click that up because I want to say that.
There's some awesome people over there in the Idaho Falls area.
I want to say that again. Yeah. They stepped right up and said, we'll do that.
Yeah, that's
That
awesome.
is so cool. And it's, we need to, we need to go over there, punch a live out of Gordon's new place.
We got to, dude, we have a ton of places to go and not enough time to get there.
Maybe I should shut my mouth.
No, we've been talking about, so last year we did take our road show on the road or this show on the road for an episode. And we had a lot of fun
down
doing
to Idaho Falls.
Yeah, well, Twin Falls, was
it?
Shelley, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not a stranger to it, and since then we have reduced the amount of gear and all that kind of stuff. So I would anticipate looking forward to that. I haven't even talked to Bob about this yet. But,
oh no! I hate it when he does this.
I know.
To me.
I got an idea for a road show. So anyway, we'll talk and see
we
what we
need
can
to
do.
go up north, man.
I know, north is.
All right, so we covered the lunch. Are you ready to talk about the competition?
Yeah, let's
talk
do it.
about this. This is our June event that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. But I'm going to let you take this.
Yeah,
this is yours. And then I've got these 3 slides queued up. So you just tell me what you want.
This is pretty. Let's just leave it here. But this is going to be great. So first of all, this is a 2-day event on June 27th and 28th, and you can get a merit for each day that you attend the 2-day event. You can, however, register for 1 day and get a merit for that day. But you save significant money if you register for both days, and you can go get 2 merits. So first day, we have, this is put on by Brian Welsh and Aaron Hockley, and they have some alphabet soup behind their name that's longer.
They really do. Did you see Brian's?
Yeah, it's like he's got a ton of stuff. In other words, these guys know what they're doing, right? So Brian's going to teach on the 27th. Brian and Aaron both will teach on
They're going to team teach on the 27th.
And they're both going to teach the competition code. So what's the competition code? Well, basically, you've heard me 1,000 times say that I shoot for green merits and not for competition merits. And that's a true story because green merits,
that's what pays the bills.
Yeah, and buys your milk, right? But if you want to score well in competition, you can't just shoot for green merits. It doesn't work that way. They have the 12 elements of the image that you have to kind of meet or exceed to get that score.
Yeah.
And then
they all have to be present to get a merit image. The 12 elements of a merit image.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so it's tough. I mean, it's not easy. It's way easier, in my view, to shoot for green merits than it is for the 12 elements.
Yeah, because people love their kids or they love their, whatever.
So Brian and Aaron are both going to go through this. And there's
It's Friday.
I know, it's Friday. And they're going, if you go on the website, ppidaho.com, and you'll see the big splash, and right below it, it says go here to register or something like that. There's a gray box. Click on that. It'll take you to the landing page of Aaron and Brian and their descriptions.
If you had told me that ahead of time,
I know. Dude, I was working late last night and then early this morning.
Again.
Another 501c3 that I work with. So anyway, you can slap me later. But here's a teaser out of the blurb on the website. They sent us, here's what's going on, and I want to hit this teaser right here. So then this is one that I need. Okay, y'all probably have it. I don't. We'll explain a straightforward Photoshop action that can automate a process for a simple, professional, judge-pleasing presentation.
So that's interesting. That sounds like a lot of hyperbole to me, because the phrase Photoshop and simple don't often coexist in the same sentence.
So I'm anxious. So originally, when this came out, and we can ask Aaron and Brian this too. So one of the things that they had on an early teaser email, and it's not in the official program now, but one of the things they had was how these relate to a customer. How do the 12 elements of a image and the competition code relate to a customer? I was all about that one because I really wanted to see that. It's not in the official description now, but I'm pretty sure if we ask them that they will oblige us. So
yeah.
That is on the 27th.
All right.
Now we're going to go to the next
is for
slide.
Brian's.
Yep.
Okay.
So now we come to the 28th, and there's going to be, the two guys are going to split the day.
Okay.
And in the morning is Brian Welsh, and his is the marketing riddle. And a lot of good information in there. Again, got the website. You can read the blurb about the marketing riddle. And in the afternoon, we have Aaron Hockley, and he's going to go over email, fresh opportunities for photography and beyond. So for those of you that think that email might be either lacking and or dead, not true.
That's not true.
And he's going to educate us on that. So of the two guys, so Brian is I know he is a studio owner, a longtime studio owner. His parents had the studio. I don't know where he resides. Portland, maybe? I think so. Somewhere over by Portland.
I don't know. Short answer.
But he is probably the head of the affiliate leaders for PPA. So I've talked to him a couple of times.
Well, you know, one of the things that we get the benefit of is these people are really smart.
Yeah.
They've been at the game a long time.
Yeah.
Brian is like third generation studio.
Yeah.
It's just, Brian's a great guy to talk to anyway. And the thing, when he talks, it's that time that you just quiet yourself and listen, because he has somebody and you know, a lot of people pour a lot out and you're trying to write it all down, but sometimes when he talks, I just want to listen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Aaron is a tech guy. So he's put out a tech blog for quite a few years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went out there and looked, and he's got some good stuff on there. So these guys they know what they're doing. I'm excited about it. So here's the deal. If you're a PPI or a PPA member, you don't have to be both. You can be one or the other. You can register for these classes for $99, so each, okay? If you want to do both of them, it's $149 for both of them.
That's a great deal.
A great deal. Now,
PPI or PPA member?
PPI or PPA member, if you're a PPI member and not a member of PPA, not a problem. It's $99 per class or $149 for two. And you do need to be here if you want the merit.
That's a given.
That's a given. So this will be live to an audience somewhere. So people can sign up to go, but they won't get merits if they're not in the room.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
It does.
So now comes the other part of this. If you're not a PPI or a PPIA member, you just tack on $50 to each one of those. So it's $149 per class, and then it's $300 for the 2 days. It's $149 per class. So
Kim says, signing up.
Sign me up.
And I'm thinking that needs to happen like when you're done, when we're done.
Yeah.
And everybody bails and I go crying inside.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to sign up today because I don't want to miss this.
Yeah.
This sounds amazing.
By the way, this will be at Sam's studio on Meridian Road.
Oh man, it's so easy to get to. The parking's not great, so carpooling might be a good idea.
Yeah, or just park a ways away and walk. I mean, it's
maybe
not
that's
that.
what we'll do.
So
we'll talk to Sam about that and figure out that.
Yeah, maybe Sam can park away and walk, and we can take his 5 spaces. But it's at Sam's studio. We're looking at trying to accommodate about 25 people, and I think those are going to go pretty fast. So you might want to go up and or out and sign up for that. I do have a couple of things on the descriptions. Now the registration is open right now, but I do have a couple of things I'm going to add to the descriptions because this PPA and their merits, I have to add some graphics and stuff for them. So if you sign up now, it's not a problem. You'll be signed up, even though the graphics and stuff are changing. You'll still be signed up. So don't worry about
all this stuff is, and when you do a program like this, there's a lot of layers involved.
Oh, that's tons.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're not just dealing with the instructors who are coming to teach a program, but you're dealing with the organization, and then dealing with, this is a continuing education program. So if you are a CPP or otherwise collect continuing education merits, this is one of those important events that you can attend that meets that obligation.
Right. And it's like Bob said, I did not realize the amount of steps needed to go through to get the merits from PPA and how to market that so that it satisfies their needs.
Yeah.
So I've spent quite a bit of time on the phone the last 3 or 4 days, and
we appreciate that.
Well, thank you, and thanks to Phil White for taking his time out to explain the rules to me.
Phil is like grandfather knowledge.
Yeah, he is, and it was awesome.
Not that he's old.
No,
just that he's
we both needed that because we kind of rushed through convention without a lot of this preparation, and we probably should have. So, well, not probably about it. We should have. So, all taken care of now, though.
Yep.
All done.
I've got a couple things, and we can plop in some of these lower thirds later on as we go. I'd like to get past our announcements. We're quarter after the hour right now, and this doesn't have to be. Our topic is coming right up. This doesn't have to be a super long conversation. I really want it to be thought provoking. So that's what we're going for today. Is not telling you how to do something, but let's see. So great to see you without pain showing on your face. Well, Bob Quick, I appreciate that too. I should put that on the. I'm in between screens, or I'd show that. It's there. It's just masked. But anyway, let's ready to pull this over.
Yep.
All right.
Let's do it.
So today's episode is quality over quantity, and this comes from a couple of things that I've been reading lately. Actually, I've had this in our hopper on Trello since Treller. Sean Treller. I've had this on Trello in our hopper for probably 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
Yeah. And then I did a little revision on it. I'm like, that's what I want to talk about this week. And then next week it's going to be a mind blower.
Yeah.
Right.
Next week's just cool. Yeah.
I loved it because you didn't even know what the title meant, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
I love it when I can stump the guy here.
Yeah.
So today is quality over quantity, and I'm going to bring this back to us for just a moment. Quality over quantity can relate to a lot of different aspects of what we do, right? I mean, are we after a whole bunch of affirmation, or are we after somebody paying us to do the work? Are we after, this one struck me. You're involved in one of those nonprofits that hosts a banquet where people come and sit in the seats and eat the food.
Right.
And for a long time, for a decade or more, I was involved in several of those. DU and Friends of NRA and Wild Turkey Federation. I was involved in all of them because I had the gun shop, right? And for a while, they were just like, we need butts in the seats. Except that you don't need butts in the seats. You need qualified butts in the seats.
There you go.
You need people who are there to spend money with your organization.
So quite a while ago, like several years ago, we changed our philosophy. You do need butts in seats. Mm-hmm. That's a true story. But we changed our wording. So instead of having a banquet, or in our case, it's a pig roast, whatever.
Do you do it in the ground?
No.
Or do you have a guy with a trailer?
Yeah. No, a big spit. No, spit? I do it.
You do it?
Or a whole pig.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'll take some pictures. Anyway.
Pictures? Hell, I need some of that.
Okay, come on out.
All right.
Anyway.
I'll take pictures.
Okay. Deal.
See what I just did there?
Yeah.
We'll work for food.
We, about probably 5 or 6 years ago,
quality conversation.
We changed the wording on all of our advertising from just a pig roast to a fundraising function, or a fundraising pig roast, a fundraising banquet, whatever. We changed it. We added that word in, a fundraising event, so that there was no doubt in their mind that they're gonna, if you're gonna come,
they're coming so they can leave money on your table.
Exactly. And it changed everything.
Okay.
And so a good example of that is last one we had, which was last year, by the way. We snuck it in between
COVID rounds.
COVID rounds. We didn't have very many people there. We probably had maybe 60 at the most.
I know where you're going to go with this. I know exactly what
we
you're gonna
raised
say.
more money
Yes.
with 60 people than we ever had.
With 200.
Or 300.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, so before COVID, we had the typical banquet with the, beef, chicken, fish, and the rubber beans and all that stuff. And we had our last big banquet was at the Wahoo's, what do they call that place? The Galaxy Event Center?
Galaxy Event Center at Wahoo's.
And we had 320 attendees, not counting volunteers. There were 320 butts in seats. So we couldn't do it the next year because of COVID. And then we snuck one in last year. We had 60 people, and we outraised the 320 was 60 people.
Isn't that mind-blowing?
Oh, it's incredible.
Because, I got to push this over, right?
Quality over quantity.
Over quality. Quality over quantity. So we realized this years ago in our fundraising program that we weren't just looking for people in the seats. We weren't looking for people to come for a cheap meal.
Right.
We were looking for people. So we raised the price on our meal.
Which is not your client, which is what we've been harping on.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So
we talk about this all the time.
We talk about raising your prices, and guys, it's hard. I mean, my wife looks at me like I'm nuts. I mean, literally, she's like, "You're going to charge what?"
Yep.
And hey,
that's because you're not your own client.
Daddy needs some new shoes, right? I mean, we got it. So I just jacked the prices up, and now I'm getting quantity or quality over quantity. Yeah. I'm getting people that want those images. They really understand that it's a cherished item that they can carry forward for years and years and years.
That it has value.
Exactly. And
right?
it's not just a spray and pray and I'm going to give you 3,000 images on a desk.
Oh, that's another big one too. We're going to come right back to that topic a little bit because it's pertinent to what we're going to talk about. So here's a quote that I want to share with you a little bit.
This is a good one.
Yeah, it is a really good one. Here it comes too. You don't need 1 million people in your corner. Just people who are willing to be there, whether things are going great.
Or going to crap.
Yeah. And I've had a lot of crap lately.
Oh.
And
he's had more crap than most people have lately.
It's just a thing, right? It's life, right? And Bob Quick too. Jeez Louise. Bob Quick's always joyful.
Yeah.
Bob Quick had his chest open and like covered with stuff and then was coming to events and like, oh, I'm leaking.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, come on, these are the people that I want to surround myself with.
Yeah.
That are there when things are easy and they're there when things are not easy.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go first on this one.
Yep.
That wall right there, the hanging wall that came from my other studio. Okay? Me on one ladder, and Craig, who just had his knee replaced, on the other ladder.
That's not
drilling holes into that. My wife was holding my backside like this, right? My legs are shaking, and I'm running the drill up into the ceiling, right? Because I need this done.
So why did you call me?
You were gone for the wedding.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Okay.
No, but my people are in my corner.
Yeah.
You're there.
And this could be. It could be as simple as and you guys all know this. We have a long-standing it's an open call basically between us two and Gordon over in Idaho Falls, and I can't tell you how many times it just pops up, right? I mean, all of a sudden you get a bing on your phone and somebody is they're celebrating a success or they're wondering about the future. So. It's cool because then the other two, as a general rule, respond. Right or wrong, we respond. At least somebody's listening to you. Yeah. So, and that's important.
Bob Quick, being who he is, says, "Thank you. I appreciate the fact that you can really get behind a good leak." Laugh out loud. But Robert, man, I've missed having you on the show. I've missed seeing you in person, and I'm just dang glad you're with us today. Yeah. I want some of these other folks that are here to chime in a little bit. I know, Laquita, you're probably working and listening, and I just love that you're here today. And Kim, great to have our board member on with us today. I had a brief conversation with Jen Alvey last night because I needed some graphics that she'd done for me in the past. And the luncheon graphic that you already saw was Jen Alvey's, and she sent that over to me. But so many just really good things happening, right? So let me pop this off. Go ahead.
If we go back to quality over quantity, this could, I mean, so we already talked about not your client, right? So that's one thing. And this could also easily transpose into your photography too. So instead of doing the spray and pray, which I had a second shooter do to me, but whatever. It's easier, and you always hear people say, I like to get it right in camera. I like to get it right in camera. Sometimes you have to take some shots, either bracket or whatever, because you don't have time to get it right, to get it absolutely correct in camera, I should say.
Yeah,
you're going to be close, but you don't have time.
Well,
but
there are certain moments that you have to capture, whether things go perfectly or not.
At weddings,
you
you
have to get those shots. That's why you shoot raw.
Right.
That's what the power of Photoshop is able to help you fix some things.
But the issue is, I would rather give a bride, I should say, at a wedding, I usually take around, and this is for the reception, dinner, and all day at the wedding, and then the party afterwards. I take around 1,500 images, about.
I would say I was between 1,500 and 2,000, depending on the length and those kinds of things.
I would rather take 1,000
great images,
brilliant images, than I would 1,500. But in a wedding, like he just said, you got to take a shot, and you're doing
a great example of this. Okay, I was doing a photo booth for a wedding. Actually, it was the very last wedding we did with our photo booth before I came home and swore off weddings. But I'm at this wedding, and there's two photographers there, obviously the primary and the secondary, and they're both obviously running rented 1DX Mark IIIs to shoot weddings. And
awesome.
if you've ever heard those cameras, the 1DX series cameras, they have a very distinct, it's kind of like the Warhog, right? The A10, and it's very much like the brr with that. And they're standing side by side, taking pictures of the people dancing on the dance floor. And I'm just thinking to myself, what are you shooting? First of all, that's trash. That's just trash. You're just stop, right? Anyway, I don't do weddings anymore.
Well, it
was actually the drugs in the photo booth that swore me off from doing weddings anymore.
I had a second this weekend. That was.
You had a second shooter at a wedding this weekend.
And last weekend, and he was very new, which doesn't bother me. And he was using I think a Fuji camera. Don't care. He had one lens. And he kind of fibbed to me about
Which
that.
One?
50.
Okay.
It's okay, but it's not very versatile. So we were in some confined.
I might rather have that than with a 35 if they have to have one lens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Was. Anyway, we shot in a lot of confined spaces, and he was proudly showing me his low light capabilities, because we're literally in a barn.
You sent me some pictures of that.
Which wasn't lit very well. Anyway, I mean, a long story short, we got to the party afterwards in the first dance. And it's coming up, and I see,
you didn't tell me this story. You told me
there's an issue. So he was going to cover the first dance, and I was actually going to just relax with my wife, and I know the bride's dad and his wife, so we were going to sit down and chat with them. I get in to look at the venue for the first dance, and now it's a cave. It's not a barn anymore. It's a cave.
Oh yeah, they turned the lights down. It's got to be moody.
Well, they had the lights up, right, to start, right? But what happens when they start the dance? The lights go down. Yeah. And I could see this happening. I mean, I've done enough. I'm like, oh my God, and even with this fancy low light thing, I knew this was going to be trouble. So I quickly ran to the car, grabbed a couple of stands and some 8200s, my trigger and my camera.
For those that aren't quite as nerdy, he went to his car and got some lights. Some strobes for the dance floor.
I threw them up. And what was cool about it is that the DJ he's done this before, he's a professional, came over and asked, he said, "Are you ready?" So and I didn't even talk to him, and he came over and said,
he recognized that you were adapting to the environment.
He recognized that I was panicked.
Let me introduce you to professional photography.
Yeah. So
that's a Bob Quickism.
Yep. So anyway, it went off without a hitch, but my second guy even his fancy low light capabilities on the Fuji could not handle basically complete darkness. It was pretty black in there. So
here's what Bob Quick is contributing. The foundation of all success is finding the people who want, love, respect, and desire what you create. Bob, I'm going to use that as a quote.
Bob comes up with quotes. We use them all the time.
I do.
We use them all the time, Bob.
Professional photography. Man, I use that every week.
Yeah.
I really do. And Laquita's in. A great DJ to pick up on that. Yep. Good stuff.
So quality over quantity, and that's just an example. I kind of went off on a tangent there because I had sort of somebody. So
it's okay. It's 11:30. We're still on topic.
Okay, good.
All right. So the next thing that I want to talk about here is this one here. Okay. So the next slide that I'm going to present to you.
This is a hot one too.
I think it's really good, and perhaps maybe this is the point where I'll leave this on screen for a minute when I get there. I'll leave it on screen for a minute. Stop your ding-donging thing. I can't do it.
All right.
I even shut the air conditioning off in the house because it's too loud out here, right?
Do not disturb. There we go.
Thanks, Ben. Right. So this next one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can count. There's 4 points to this next slide, and there isn't one that's clearly better than the other.
No.
Because I could think of arguments for both. So I want to present this to you, and let's have a little bit of conversation around this. So I really like this. We're going to push it down. Okay. Who matters? We're talking quality over quantity, and I'm mostly thinking people with this. But the spray and pray thing, that's another deal, right?
Yeah.
But that counts too. That counts under the quality over quantity. But who matters, okay? So in this context of quality over quantity, who matters? Is it your social media followers, or is it actual engagement? Is it the person that says, I've got 50,000 followers, or is it the person that says, I've got 10,000 followers who are actively engaging with my channel every time we're on? And man, today is a great example of this. We've got some quality people with us today. Do I have 1,000 people or 100 people on with us today?
No.
I don't. We'll get close to that over the weekend.
You're right. Yeah.
Right? But today we've got quality people here giving us quality input on this. So what matters to you? Let me see if I can drop us off into the corner, maybe over here, and see if this is going to work. Yeah, there we are.
Yeah,
so we can leave this up for just a minute. So what matters? Social media followers or actual engagement?
How many? So y'all know I'm a Shutterfest guy. So one of the big deals there is social interaction. I mean, that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. So, when I very first started, it was like, oh yeah, everybody share their stuff. Well, there was only 250 people there, and you pretty much knew every one of them because it was only 250 people. That's not a huge number.
It's not.
But now it's a lot of people, and so those people. So even today on social media, and I really don't like social media, and I'm not on there very much, but I vet like crazy because who matters? So I go through and say, I met this guy once. I haven't ever heard from him ever again. Done.
And he doesn't represent either future work or future quality input to who I am and what I accomplish.
And some of the ones I do keep are either instructors that I know
they add value.
Absolutely. Or models, which add value in my particular case.
Yep. In my case.
And fellow photographers that are like-minded.
Yeah.
So that's kind of boils it down to
let's flip that on its axis for just a minute. On certain social media platforms, you need a number of subscribers or followers to unlock certain features.
Yeah.
And we're trying, actually, we are a little over halfway to being able to unlock the next big feature with YouTube. And Cary Grant's here.
Hi, Cary.
She's driving and listening.
Don't run off the road.
Yeah, don't run off the road. I'm not going to put your comment on the screen because you don't need to look at it because you're driving. So like I said at the begining, each of these could be argued either way.
Right.
Okay. For me, engagement's a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Part of our business formula is to like, follow, and comment folks that we work with or want to work with. Okay. I'm part of that engagement, but I'm also part of that social media followers thing in that regard. I want them to be edified. Oh, we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah, we should.
All right. So let's move to the next point here. Yep. They're probably tired of looking at this, but I want you to write these down. Lots of likes or one good comment asking you to do more of the work you love. Everybody likes affirmation.
Well, everybody likes likes because that's an affirmation.
It's an affirmation.
But
it'll help. And now, and it's part of the algorithm.
Do you
right?
do you like because you like it, or do you like because they're out there actually working? So,
or do you like it because you feel obligated?
Because you know them, yeah.
Because you know them, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm thrilled to peaches. Thrilled to peaches? I'm thrilled to death when I don't know.
Peaches, pieces.
Pieces.
Yeah, same.
It's Friday. Have you seen what I've done? Anyway.
I have seen. So yeah, this is a good comment here because I belong to a product photography group, and that one I do follow pretty religiously because that's one of the things I'm kind of going to branch off into. And there's some guys that will just tear your stuff apart, which is good because you need that. It's kind of like,
it's malicious.
Yeah, it's kind of like getting a 79 in competition. You have to. So, I know.
You gave Sam's a 79 and Slack. Oh my God, you're horrible.
So anyway, but I try in that group, if instead of just clicking on the like, I try and drop a comment. Great light on the bottle. Great idea to put that mirror where it's at, or whatever. Something so they know that I'm engaged. I'm not just saying, "Hey, yeah, that's pretty cool."
You're not trolling.
Yeah.
Right? So that's another big deal.
But I would, if I had to have one or the other, I would like the comments.
Yes.
I would like the comments that are relevant. Not
Oftentimes, I find myself commenting, and then like I should probably like.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Right?
Yeah, same thing. Yep.
All right, moving on to the next one, and this relates to my in-person stuff. When I go into a room and I'm business networking, am I looking am I a collector of contacts, or do I want to have conversations with decision makers?
That's a no-brainer.
Right.
I've come again from Shutterfest. In the early years, the models would give you a business card. Okay. That didn't work. I came home with a stack of business cards like that, and I'm like, what? Who? And a lot of them, believe it or not, their models only had their name on it. I'm like, I don't know who this was or is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it didn't work.
Okay.
I would much rather have a decision maker there that I can talk to about business, because that's why I'm in business.
Yeah, and oftentimes the decision maker doesn't look like the person you think that you should be going to talk to, which relates directly to this next tip here. A conversation with the CEO or his administrative assistant.
Yeah,
call that. I had to ask my wife, like, a secretary, administrative assistant,
executive assistant, XA.
Yeah, like whatever that title is. Would you rather talk to the CEO or talk to the person who runs his life?
I might want to say hi to the CEO, and then I turn right around and go right to that person that runs his life.
I probably want to show face. Maybe drop one of my really fancy business cards in his hands. So he sticks it in his pocket and throws it on his dresser, and his wife throws it away 2 days later. But at least he's seen my face once. He may or may not remember the interaction. Yeah. But then I really want to go after that gatekeeper.
Right.
Right. I want to go after the person who's going to literally make the decision on hiring. The CEO might say, "This is your budget," or that costs too much, or that look for somebody that's more local, or look for somebody that can meet our schedule better, or something like that. They're going to make those decisions, but it's typically that person, that admin assistant, or like you said, the executive assistant. It's usually somebody like that is my go-to.
And just in the corporate world, the corporate structure, all of their departments have XAs.
Oh my gosh!
So
sometimes multiple.
Yeah. So hit them all.
Hit them all. Hit them all. All right. So let me pull us back here for just a second.
We look so good.
You know what? I'm really happy with the way this is looking.
Okay.
I don't normally shoot.
Do you like my office back here?
Yes.
Office windows.
I think it looks good.
It does look good.
Sometimes I tint it with a little bit of sunlight, but I didn't today.
It is sunny.
It is our sterile office environment behind us. So this is our next quote. I'm ready to get to it.
Let's do it.
Let's check the comments over here. Still, Cary Grant's driving. Laquita's great. Okay, we covered that. I called her Laquita. Where is that coming from today?
Where's the R coming from?
I don't. Well,
are you from?
I'm from Boston.
No, you're going back to Alabama though.
No. Back in Boston, water is water.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Anyway, crazy. Oh, look at this. We've got a big one. I'm going to drop that up there. Let's Let me click these up. Boom, boom. And I'm going to come over here to social, and I want to catch this one here, okay? It's interesting that our studio gets very few quality clients from social media. We develop leads, then through our in-person interactive design consultation, they choose to commission us or not. Absolutely true. Absolutely true in my case. I'm not sure that went to them.
It should have gone over here, but it didn't.
It didn't. So then
Yeah.
I'm going to come back and put it back up. Okay, so that you can see it. See, now it's there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of button pushing going on here to my left.
We need a button pusher.
Well, yeah.
the show.
You know what I really want to do is get our two lady board members on to host the show so that I can just sit over there and produce it.
I'd sit there and drink a beer while they're. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's
Can
that.
we point? Can we point and laugh at them?
And Laquita, friend, I appreciate that. I was second for Laquita on a shoot last week. It was a lot of fun. We had a really good time together. That was Cary Grant says that. I thought that was Laquita. Wow. I'm trying to look at a tiny screen. Over there. I appreciate that, Cary Grant. You kind of always look great too. All right, here we go. There we go.
BR 549.
BR 549.
If they're going to call the HR police on us or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's come back over to the rundown for just a minute, and
Let's do that second quote.
I'm going to do that second quote. This is really great too, right? All right, here comes, folks. I love this. I want you to read it.
Yeah, surround yourself with a select few that edify you with words and actions, which is basically what we've just said. I mean, if you think about it, we have a group. I try and, at least me, on the one group that I really like on Facebook, or I don't really like it. I've got to follow it because I'm learning, but I try and do words and actions alike, and bolster that. Nothing. You know, what's that saying about gently admonishing them with their error instead of blasting them with stuff that you know.
Sure.
So it's there's a saying on that, and I don't remember right now. But anyway, the truth is, especially on social media sites, when somebody puts something out there, it can be brutal. People, why'd you do that? You should have done this, and to an extent, even the competition to an extent gets that way sometimes, you know, like, what'd you put that there for? Here's my favorite. Well, you should have taken that out. Well, it didn't. so it's not. I mean, that's how you learn. But you know, instead of the language, and especially on social media, because you can't hear the inflection in their voice, you can't see them talk to you about edify. So edification is great when you're with somebody and say, you know what, had you taken that log out of the picture right there, it might have been a lot better, or whatever. So.
That might be a little less distracting if you remove that element.
Exactly. There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Or it could be a lot of other things too. And so in my life right now, and you know, I talk about what's going on with my life every week because it's a pretty significant deal. I don't need 1,000 people to tell me, hey, give me a call if there's anything I can do for you.
Yeah.
I need the couple that showed up earlier this week with a dozen meals for us.
Yeah.
With like 9 of them were frozen meals that my wife can pull out of the freezer and cook. And 2 or 3 of them were like, this is today, tomorrow, the next day. Your meals are covered. That's quality over quantity.
Yep.
I gotta stop there because I'm gonna cry. Let's go back to the social feed for just a minute. Let's bring us back. Boo, boo, boo.
Do-do-do.
And I can shut that off, and we can drop over here to social because social's good right now. Laquita, well, let's go here, and let's turn that on. Okay, when people build each other up, both will go farther. This is that same concept that a rising tide lifts all ships,
all boats.
and
Yep.
it is literally the way we have lived PPI for the last few years. Mm-hmm. That we are here to edify our professional community, to lift up every single person, whether you are the voice of experience or the voice of the new person asking what sounds like a stupid question.
Yeah.
until it gets an honest answer.
There are never any stupid questions ever, and that you just said that we've talked a lot, even in our board retreat. We talked about what is a professional photographer.
Yeah.
For those of you that are aspiring to be professional photographers, you're a professional photographer. You're aspiring to be one.
Yeah.
We need to, and it's like any other craft. I feel like it's kind of an obligation to me to pass down what I know. I mean, it's
that is an absolute truth, and let's do a live just on that. That is so gospel.
Yeah.
In any industry, that you teach the people that follow.
Right. And you can't, we'll do it on the line, but you can't, there's no way, we've done this, we've been over this a lot of times, but if I teach people how to shoot weddings, for example, there's no way that they're going to take business from
They're not going to come away with your product.
No, not even close. But my second shooter and I were totally different people, for example. I mean, he didn't even know what a flash was. He thought the flash was that little thing that pops up in the camera. I'm not making fun of him, but his first words to me, I'm a natural light photographer, and I tried not to cringe. I cringed.
That's because in our circle,
I know.
That's code for,
I don't know how to shoot.
I don't know how to use
off-camera
lights,
flash. Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yep.
Well, and so last week during the workshop, or was it this week during the workshop? The last time we had a workshop here, Dave Keys was here, and LaQuid was here, and Shauna was here, and my wife helped out, and my buddy Craig came by and shot some behind the scenes in the afternoon. I bought him lunch. We all went to lunch. We do these working lunches where we pick a topic from the morning. And what's up, Robert? Behave yourself.
Robert, we have
what's a light meter? Laugh out loud.
I've got some potential news for you. I'm going to hold off, but we talked about our fall. Did we have talked about that yet?
No.
Okay, never mind. We'll get it later.
Wait a minute. This is a great time.
It is good.
I'm going to run. I think I can run this right near. Let's just roll down. You keep just fill the thing. We've planned our fall retreat.
Yeah.
It is in the process right now. Look at that. Fall retreat is September 22nd through 24th in Baker City, Oregon. Go.
Yeah. So on my way to Seattle, I did stop by Baker City, and it will be, I think this is going to be a great fall retreat. As a matter of fact, I know it's going to be. I'm going to have a good time. I hope you will too.
I'm going to pop that across the screen one more time.
Yep.
For somebody who wasn't there, like,
so
wait, I missed
September
that.
22 through 24. And we have a potential program. This won't take up the entire time, but we have a potential deal that I'm cooking up that I think is going to be a lot of fun. And it's for everybody.
This is happening the week I get back from the Chicago affiliates. They've got Gary Hughes coming in, and anyway, I'm going to be in Chicago with my buddy John, and I'm going to pick up some instruction there, and then I'm going to get back, and then we're going to turn right around and head off to Baker City.
Yep.
Yeah. The only caveat to that is if I have to have more surgery. So anyway, let's get back to the social here for a minute, because Laquita says, I love that workshop. So much fun. The reason I brought the workshop up, you see that ugly white wall over there with all the holes in it from where they just blew in the insulation? We didn't have a chance to actually finish doing all of the things that workshop does. We covered some of the most likelies, and then we left a couple that we didn't actually get to perform. So we spent the morning going through a quick run through the PowerPoint, and then we talked through lunch about a question that came up during the PowerPoint about hard light or soft. How do you know which modifier? Yeah, bring that question to lunch, right? We broke that down, talked about it. So end of the day, this table's over there in the corner, like I said, with an ugly white wall with all the holes in it. And I took out my V1, right, my round head speed light, and I put it on my camera, and I spun it around behind me into the ceiling white wall, and I took a portrait of my wife that's gorgeous. I posted it online. And Laquita was so funny. She's like, I thought that was forbidden. Like, I thought the whole point of this is to get off the flash off the camera. I'm
Nothing's forbidden.
It's all tools.
Yeah,
It's all tools in the toolbox, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, Laquita, we do need more play dates. That was a lot of fun. And, what do we have here? Bob, quick, what do you have to say here?
He's got to go.
I have to dash. Sorry, I have a sales appointment. Well, make more money. That was our episode a few weeks ago. Have a great afternoon, Robert. I'm glad you're here with us. And with that, I'm going to move us on to the next.
Sell something.
Yeah, sell stuff, man. He says we're purdy. You are kind of purdy.
Well, he's throwing the R in there like you are. Have been all day.
Oh, man. Okay. So let's bring up that next slide. And I got to find it. It's down here. That's the second quote. Did we cover it?
We did.
We did cover that.
Yep.
All right. So then you know what we're ready to do. Look at the time.
I know. It's gone.
Oh, my gosh. All right. So then the next slide is this one. And I'll bring that over and you can talk about it.
Yeah. So
Ready? I'm going to push it. Ready? Push it.
Guys, if we think we bring some value to your lives. We hope we do. And hopefully you can recommend us for value to somebody else's lives too. But if you like what we do, head on out to ppidaho.com. There's a big join us button. It's about the first thing you see on the page. Click on that and it's super simple.
How much is it going to cost them?
It's going to cost you $9.99 a month. We do ask for a 12-month commitment on that. Yeah. If you want to save a couple of bucks, it's $99 a year. Now, what that gets you is all of these events. For example, our fall retreat is cheaper if you're a PPI member. Yeah. The Aaron Hockley and Brian Welsh thing on the 27th and 28th is cheaper if you're a member. So there are, and we want to bring more events to you guys so that basically, I don't think I've ever told you this, but I think my goal would be, if you spend $99 a year, that is paid for in the value, not the value, but the reductions in prices of events that you can go to.
Oh yeah, that makes sense, right?
So yeah, so if you pay $99 a year and you get $50 off at convention and you get $50 off at fall retreat, you've paid for the $99.
Yeah, and you know, there's so much more value beyond that. I talk to photographers who aren't part of anything, and they're like, well, I belong to a bunch of Facebook groups. I'm like, okay.
Quality over quantity, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And but then when we spend our time together, when I spent time with the folks who came to the workshop, man, what a great day.
Yeah. It's awesome just to...
Our board retreat, we worked like 14 and 15-hour days on our board retreat, and we drove home, we're like, wow, that was really... You drove home...
We drove home, and I'm thinking to myself, and I think we talked about it, like, oh, we didn't bring up this, we didn't bring up that, and we were busy from morning until night.
From 6:30 in the morning to like 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
It was a great time away of building and organizing, and just really good time, quality time with the people who lead the organization. Anyway, join us, come alongside.
Yeah. PPIdaho.com, join us button.
And then I'm going to end here, I think, on this next deal.
Yeah, this is cool.
All right, and do I explain it?
No.
Or do I just leave it out there?
No, just dangle it.
I'm going to hang it. Right?
Dangle, yeah.
I'm going to hang it right out there.
He's going to hang this on you.
Right.
He hung it on me, and I'm like, what the heck is that?
So I'm going to close this out with the slide and a little bit of music, and then we're going to see you next week. All right, we're going to leave the mics on here for a second.
Don't forget the dates. We got the lunch on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget about the June 27th, 28th. Don't forget that one.
Yep.
And then keep in mind September, 24th, 25th. 22nd, 25th.
24th.
Yeah, Baker City, Oregon. So just...
Where are you getting 25 from?
I don't know.
It's just popping out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, lots of great stuff. And of course, you can catch all these dates on replay. You could text us. You could do any of those things.
You can comment on replay.
Oh, Tish is here. I'm a little late getting here, but I'll replay it. Great.
Perfect.
Tish, I'm super glad that you're here. This was a great episode with great interaction.
Thanks for taking that lunch, by the way.
Yeah. Thanks for picking up the lunch social out there next week in Idaho Falls. All right, so folks, here it is, coming at you. Next week's episode, and then we're going to follow next week's episode with lunch. Here in the Treasure Valley, we're going to lunch over at Idaho Pizza. But here it comes, folks.